So I made a video, it's probably out by now, it's regarding what killed Yu-Gi-Oh, and I concluded in that video, check it out by the way, I thought I made a decent amount of compelling points, but I said how the competitive nature of people and how they compare it to other anime as well as competitiveness within the card game itself is killing Yu-Gi-Oh, is what killed Yu-Gi-Oh, because of the fact that, you know, people are always complaining about the meta and how they can't do this and that, but the competition is making their view and giving them a warped sense of how they enjoy the anime or how they enjoy the game. But then that's how I conclude that it was us collectively, and it's inevitable, it happens to absolutely everything which has a competitive aspect in it. I said that's how Yu-Gi-Oh was killed. But the thing is YuGiOh dead? What do I mean? That's a bit contradictory because of the fact that how, listen, if you're gonna kill something, then is it not dead by default? But no, it's not. And spoiler ahead, Yu-Gi-Oh is not dead. Far from it. Far from it, because of the fact that look at the numbers that are turning up on the regionals and in YCSs, and the general investment from people in Yu-Gi-Oh has increased slowly. But I can't give you a imperative piece of data. From what I know from my area, I know for sure from my locals, from my regionals, that the numbers have only gone up and up and up. The amount of money that's been pumped into Yu-Gi-Oh has been going up and up and up. Now, how is that proof of it being dead? People are always gonna say, because they're hipsters and they always want to be edgy and they want to be like, oh yeah, back in the day when I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh, this, that, blah 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 blah. Shut up for a second, because of the fact that you have to understand, as I reiterated in the last video, that Yu-Gi-Oh is not for us. We have already been hooked line and sinker for Yu-Gi-Oh. We are already engrossed in it, even if you're not the biggest fan anymore, or you're kind of out of touch with it. Yu-Gi-Oh's main point is to get the new people and always, you know, claw in a new audience, claw in new people to watch the anime. Now let's focus exclusively on the anime for this small portion, because of the fact that, as I said in my other video, that we who started watching Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters or GX or 5Ds or whatever, remember this, it comes in the form of around 3 years. That's how it cycles in and out. Now we have already grown up or grown considerably older, so such that our view on Yu-Gi-Oh from when we initially started watching the anime is going to be starkly different to right now. We might enjoy it more, we might appreciate the character, the background, the story aspects of the anime where we probably couldn't enjoy it as much when we were younger. And on the flip side, we might not appreciate it. We might think like, oh, you know what, I kind of overrated this anime because when I was younger, or when I initially watched it, I didn't really think about the character side of things, or how this is a contrived plot aspect of this arc and that arc for this series. So we flip-flop between our opinions for the anime. And as I said in my other video, I spoke about how I kind of fell out of Yu-Gi-Oh because I was ignorant, I was stupid, and I was an idiot for not wanting to give Yu-Gi-Oh 5D a chance. But when I did, I absolutely regretted it, and I was like, you know what, I regret my previous decision of not giving it a chance. And I was like, I'm such an idiot, why the hell didn't I give it a chance at a much earlier stage? And it's the thing with the Yu-Gi-Oh anime being dead or not, I see there's a lot of criticism for Yu-Gi-Oh Arc 5, and that's a video for another day. Please, I want to really tackle that subject. So regarding your thoughts about Yu-Gi-Oh Arc 5, comment it down below, or comment it on the Facebook page, which is all about Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm going to link it down below, and I want to have a discussion a lot. But the thing is, if people are always investing and talking, whether it be negative or positive, about the Yu-Gi-Oh anime, surely it's not dead, because it has a lease of life to it, because people keep on talking about it. It's always in the conversation. Now regarding the card game, it's not dead. It really isn't dead. People are talking about, they are horrified, some of them are loving the current format, some of them are absolutely hating it because they have Zodiac, they have the full deck for Zodiac, or the Invoked, or the, you know, the latest cards from Fusion Enforcers and Raging Tempest. They got Pop Desires, they got all the big boy money cards, whereas you have other people who are anti-meta, who are always against the grain, and they refuse to play the meta to its fullest. I think I fall under that category where I don't like Zodiac. I still don't like Shadows, because when I initially got back into the game, Shadows and Clephos, or whatever they may be, they were the big thing, they were the talking points, and I just really didn't like it. And from that memory, I've always never given Shadows a chance, and I just won't give it a chance. And hopefully that changes, and that's what I want. I want to change, and every single one of you should want to change your opinions as you go forward. You don't want to cement yourself at a certain perspective, as it will always limit you, and you don't want to be limited. You want to be malleable, you want to be flexible, you want to be able to be molded into a certain thought process from your environment, from your existence, because that's what it means to be human. Now, that is a very much a live feature, and Yu-Gi-Oh has all of these features ingrained into the anime, ingrained into the card game. So I don't think it's dead. People always say Yu-Gi-Oh's dead, but at the same time, they are the people who are not giving Yu-Gi-Oh another chance. They are the people who let's just say, they kind of struck out. They struck out far too early. They saw a little bit, they never really experienced it. The justification for their opinion usually, and this is me not being specific or overly generalizing, but for a small portion of people who are extremely ignorant, and I was one of them at one point, and I have to hold my hands up saying that, look, I refuse to give 5D chance because of the fact that I didn't like synchros at the time. And there are still far too many people out there who don't give it a chance, but they form an opinion, and it really isn't a valid opinion. So for someone to say that Yu-Gi-Oh is dead, for someone to say that Yu-Gi-Oh is absolute trash without seeing or going through the trash or the dead anime or the card game itself, it really isn't a valid point. I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh is dead. I don't see it dying. My enjoyment, my excitement for it has been rekindled a few years ago, and that's the card game side of things, and I'm starting to play it far more competitively. And from speaking to a lot of people at my locals as well as the regionals and even the YCS when I went there also many years ago, there's a lot of people who are either card game or the anime. It's very rare, I found, to find people who are up to date with the anime as well as being completely up to date with the card game, and that's maybe my area. I'm sure there's a lot of people who are up to date on both aspects, or just maybe I've spoken to a lot of casuals, but that's not a problem. You can be a fan of just the card game, you can be a fan of just the anime. It showcases the fact that no, this fandom is very much alive and the interest in Yu-Gi-Oh is very much there. They really do like Yu-Gi-Oh. They will invest their time through the anime, their money through the card game, and their love through both. So I don't see Yu-Gi-Oh as being dead by any means at all. I've seen arguments through my previous comment sections as well as other people's comment sections and blog posts. I don't really check out forums or blogs in general, but sometimes when I do, there's always something like, oh yeah, who plays Yu-Gi-Oh? That's dead. Or who watches Yu-Gi-Oh? That's dead. Or why don't you watch something else, like, I don't know, One Piece or something along the lines? Why don't you watch another popular anime, a popular shonen anime? So with that being said, I think I've said enough regarding what my stance is, whether Yu-Gi-Oh is dead or alive. I think it's very much alive. I think that it's going to be alive for the foreseeable future, and with Yu-Gi-Oh always revamping it every 3 years, or recycling or revolutionizing, completely revolutionizing their card game as well as the anime, because they both go hand in hand. Remember that the anime and the card game go hand in hand, and the link between the two is you guys, the consumer. But they revolutionize it, and with Yu-Gi-Oh Reigns around the corner coming out in April or something, we know that we're gonna get a new format, a new type of summoning mechanic, and that is link summoning. So they're always going to revolutionize it, and there's going to be a contingent of people who are going to be like, no, I don't like it, this is horrible, oh, if only it was just fusion, if only it ended in GX. Unfortunately, we have to move with the times. Unfortunately, we have to give it a chance and form our opinions after giving it a chance. And with that, I shall conclude, is Yu-Gi-Oh dead? No, it really isn't dead, and it's very much alive. Comment below, do you reckon it's dead? Why do you think it's dead if you do think it is? And if not, how is it alive? And in what aspect are you supporting the fandom? Are you a avid watcher of the anime? Are you an avid trading card collector? Are you an avid duelist? Are you any good at dueling? And if I wonder, I might open up sessions to duel on DevPro if you guys are lucky enough. Just type in and search Dimsy's domain on DevPro. But check out the Facebook page, check out BYG Aigami. He has videos for days regarding Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's amazing. He always breaks the news first, and he does excellent discussion. So make sure to subscribe for him for the best Yu-Gi-Oh news, and check myself out if you want. I do a lot of Dragon Ball Super as well as Digimon, and of course Yu-Gi-Oh content, and there's gonna be more Yu-Gi-Oh content around the corner. So with that, like, share, comment, subscribe. You may now exit Dimsy's domain. Thank you, goodbye, and yeah, subscribe to do this and whatnot. Bye.